Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Detroit. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Jacob Van Lunen, and we're just about ready here for round number 4. Got some pretty sweet setup. A pretty sweet setup down here, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, this team on the right is kind of odd. It seems like some sort of master alien group of people just used a teleporter machine and just was like, we're just going to take 3 really good Magic players at random from the world and just put them on the same team here. Chris Benfell, 2 Pro Tour top 8s, including a finals appearance. Well over 5 Grand Prix top 8s, 3 Grand Prix wins. A lot of you probably haven't heard of him because he hasn't been around in a very long time.
But yeah, two Team GP wins is, of course, a big one. Dave Williams in the middle, you'll recognize him as a professional poker player. That's how he's made his living. And then on the bottom, Tomohiro Saito somehow ended up on this team.
Yeah. I mean, he accidentally got hit with that alien teleporter beam, and now he's in this seat playing on this team.
And here he is, and this is one of the more interesting lineups that we have out in the field here. Chris Benfell, Dave Williams, Tomohiro Saito. Now, on the other side, we've got a team out of Chicago area, based around Ian Farnum, who's on the left, and then we've got Ray Punsalan and Jack Dobbin, and this is a team in different builds. Right now, we're watching Ray Punsalan here play against Saito, who has had a lot of success at the Team GP level. Now, it hasn't been the exact same 3 people. Sometimes Ray's there. Sometimes Stefan Barrios is there. You'll recognize that name from the Pro Tour Top 8 just a couple short weeks ago. But this team knows how to play. This is a group of maybe 4 to 5, 3 to 5 that will get together, pick 3 of them, and show up for a GP based on who can travel, schedule, how other teams are going and such. And these guys know how to rumble. They have had a lot of success out at these things.
And a lot of the time you'll see players who you haven't necessarily heard of at the Pro Tour level who really succeed in these team-like events because, you know, they've played together for so long and they've played this, like, various 3v3 formats with each other that they just have that, whatever that spark is.
Planeswalker spark?
Yeah.
Ray also on the other side here, you know, Ray's a friend of coverage. He actually is one of the people who started GG's Live with Rashad back before there was weekly tournament coverage like we have now, and he helped build that up with Rashad, and he's the one that helped set up the feature match area and kind of keep things going. So Ray actually has a little piece of history there as well with getting coverage going. But
yeah, special place in our hearts here.
He's looking to rumble here, and meanwhile, Liliana has hit the battlefield for Saito, and before she can get flipped or even attack or block, she's going to get eaten up by a Wild Instincts there. And that is going to get Consul's Lieutenant into the red zone as well as Orchard Spirit. So things looking good for Ray Punsalan with a nice tempo play there to put Saito down to 12 and leave him with just a Fetid Imp back.
So just an Eyeblade Assassin with no relevant trigger there.
Not looking good there for Saito, just the assassin.
It's going to be interesting here. I mean, Ray looks to be running away with this game. I'm actually pretty surprised he doesn't send the Orchard Spirit there. Would you attack with Orchard Spirit? What do you think? When there's a Fetid Imp with a black mana open? It seems like that's about as good of a trade as you're going to get.
Yeah, it just depends on my hand because this is a double block that's possible here, right? Yeah, it's the 3/2 first strike, so let's see. He can take down one or the other and then leave the other to finish off. It's a risky double block from Saito, but he could make it here, and it would end up being a trade. But with any trick, and Ray Punsalan is representing any number of combat tricks here, he gets completely blown out. So Saito's going to not make that play, which makes a lot of sense. And
yeah, it's a hard block to make.
Play. It's a tough one, facing white, green.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost always wrong.
Yeah, there's 3 combat tricks at common that blow that play out, just right off the top. And that's leaving out anything else, trickier than that. But, your Mighty Leaps, your Titanic Growths, your Enshrouding Mist, they all get the job done there. Saito's hand looks completely stacked. I'm curious to see if he hits his land drop this turn, though. He does have a Swamp back there. I see he has Unholy Hunger. He's got Possessed Scob. He's also got a Water Courser and a Read the Bones. So the longer this game goes, the happier he's going to be. He could just play Possess Gob here and get back Liliana. He could play Read the Bones and leave up mana for his Fetid Imp. He could just Unholy Hunger something. He's got a lot of good options here, does Saito.
Yeah, I'd be pretty surprised if he... oh, so he's just going to play the Watercourser.
Of course, sir. Ship it back. This does leave the Fetid Imp mana available.
Yeah, and I think he's going to want to trade that with the Charging Griffin. We're going to see if Ray gives him the opportunity to do so. Ray may just attack with Orchard Spirit and Consul's Lieutenant here.
Yeah, Orchard Spirit would grow. Oh! Nasty play here from Ray. You're not playing nice, buddy. Suppression Bonds to take down the Imp and clear the way for 2 evasive threats here. He's also not going to attack with the Lieutenant this time. Now, he would get a trigger so that he would have hit for 7 damage instead of 5, but he would end up trading his Consul's Lieutenant for the Watercourser in that transaction, and Ray didn't want to do that.
Yeah, you see, it's actually pretty interesting there whether or not you're supposed to attack, because then either of your 2 evasive creatures
are both lethal.
Become lethal, so your opponent needs to have, you know, like a flyer and a removal spell or 2 removal spells.
Mm-hmm.
Makes things pretty difficult.
Yeah, and as it stands, they're not currently like that. And there's Somberwald Alpha, which is really going to screw things up for Saito. It also explains why Ray didn't attack. He wanted to be able to have the pump ability here. Now, Saito's going to have to use that Unholy Hunger before he blocks, or else there's going to be triggers from the Somberwald Alpha here. Also, is he just dead anyway? Like, takes out the Griffin,
like
takes 3. No, I guess he's not.
Not dead.
Because Ray doesn't have any mana to give trample or anything like that. So it does look like Saito's going to get a chance to untap here, but it is going to be a tall order. He's certainly glad he never cast that Read the Bones, by the way. Yeah, it looks like he is just going to pack it in here. All right, so that's going to do it for that game. Ray Punsalan picks up game 1. You can see that's us down on the close end. That's Ray on the left with the bracelet there, and you can look at Saito. Dave Williams in the middle. Looks like he won his first game. Dave's a avid Magic player. He plays everything. He plays Vintage up to Limited, anything in between. Though he does tend to stick at the ends. He's more of a Limited and Vintage player than, like, you won't see him playing Legacy, Modern, or Standard as often as those formats.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing for so long that I think the Vintage has
like a
nostalgia to it. And, you know, he gets to play with cards that he's played with for a long time, and he also, you know, it's just a thinking man's game if you're trying to play.
Remember, we've got the Magic World Championship coming up in just 2 weeks' time. We're going to be in Seattle for PAX, and you can check the local times hopefully for you up on the screen there. But we are really excited to bring you that tournament. It is going to be one of the highlights of the Magic tournament year, no doubt about it.
Ian Farnum. Ram Roller actually keeps going up in my pick order. I
Does
don't know
it?
how you feel about that card.
Oh, no, I'm not a big fan of the roller. Though when it gets going, it rolls hard.
It does.
And Ram Roller's crunching pretty hard here. This is 6 damage that Farnum's attacking for. Or is it? Or is it?
I think it may be less than 6.
You may be correct. So this is Gideon's Phalanx. This is going to give Benfell 4 2/2 Knights with Vigilance. They will not be indestructible, as the only card I can see in the graveyard there is the Swift Reckoning. If he had Spell Mastery, they would also be indestructible until in a turn, which actually is a huge difference here. Because as it sits, he does stand to lose 2 of the Knights to the Ram Roller and 1 to the Void Mage if that's the block he wants to make. Where if they were indestructible, he would just get to keep all of them and eat up all the blockers. But so it goes.
He may just want to block Void Mage and let Ram Roller hit him also.
That's true. It will not be blocking. He also could just take all of it, although I suppose he would have waited till end step to do this, if that were the case. He's got a Patron of the Valiant in his hand. He's also got Suppression Bonds. Wow, and a Titanic Growth. So a huge hand for Benfell. You know, you look at the hand and you think, oh, that's pretty good. But then you look at the board. He's got 7 lands on the battlefield. This is what he has left over after his curve out. That's nice.
Look at the graveyard. It doesn't even look like he's done that much.
No, you're right.
He's at 17.
that Llanowar Empath probably, you know, the Scry probably setting up something nice there too. Maybe he got an extra card off of it. So it looks like our middle match is already done. We don't even get a chance to jump in and see Dave Williams play because he already won. He's up 2 games to 0 over Jack Delby. Yeah.
That took
That did not take long, yeah. Maybe he's red-white or something. So Benfell going deep in the tank here because, look, on the board state, he can figure out what he wants to do fairly easily, but he's got to match it up with what his hands telling him to do, and then that's a big difference. Also, he probably has Dave Williams talking to him or somebody. Do we have the wide shot, Rashad? Is that something we can look at? I'm always curious to see what's going on. Confirm, Dave Williams talking to him. All right, now there was a disperse thrown in the mix there, which is bad news for Benfell. He double blocked the Ram Roller and got one of his tokens dispersed, so the other one just got gobbled up.
I'm a little surprised by that block. You know, if you're just gonna block Ram Roller, I feel like you should just block it with everything.
All of them. Yeah, the only cards I think you need to worry about there are Disperse and Fiery Impulse, so I think you can play around it pretty easy. Yeah, I agree.
The other thing that's interesting here is that, you know, with Ian at only 12, and with a Titanic Growth in hand for Benfell, if Benfell simply takes the damage and then attacks back with everybody, then if he gets only one block, then he's getting for lethal.
2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Where's the last power come from? With the +4/+4?
+4/+4.
Okay, sure.
Because you're going to lose 2 from the one block, which will put you down to
I mean, he could have
8,
just taken it too, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You just straight up take it.
I mean, he's attacking for 15 if he makes that play.
Yeah,
I kind of
especially
like
with
that.
one blocker being out of the mix also. But
And I mean, you can take 6 damage at that point, right? He was at 17. You're not dying. Yeah, we'll see how he navigates the rest of the game here. He's played a Patron of the Valiant post-combat, which looks pretty nice here, too.
Patron of the Valiant, pretty good. Benfell, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying he looks like he's in a really good position here.
Yeah.
Over Ian Farnum. But it is Ian's turn, so he's going to get to do some stuff here. Let's see what that was. I'm assuming it's a Sigil of Valor. Yeah, that is what it is. And he's going to attack with the Ram Roller, so that's going to pick up +1, +3/+3 here. Ooh. It's huge. It's 7 power now. Yeah, that thing is just massive. It's like 7, 8?
That's a big boy.
Yeah.
So big I might even think about chumping it.
I guess you take the 7 here. Because that lets you attack next turn with your knights. And then you can block next turn anyway, because you have vigilance. But that is a creature that must be respected. Yeah, all right, Benfell's going to chump block. I don't think Farnum's super sad about.
I mean, to some degree, he had to be expecting that, right? Just it's odd, though. I mean, the thing is, the red decks in this format do have reach, so you want to keep your life total padded enough that you're not just going to die.
He's double blocking here?
Yeah, so he is double blocking with a Patron of the Valiant, and
that's not enough, though, is it? 3, 4, 5. Oh, it is. It's exactly enough.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, I did the math wrong. All right. So, if this succeeds, he will get rid of the Ram Roller. Now, I don't know if that's like, he still has to deal with the Sigil of Valor at some point. Or Thopter will start hitting him or whatever, but this does take the heat off of him in the moment. Especially if he has a pump spell. Ian has to order the blockers here. And we know that he's got the Titanic Growth in his hand too. So he's going to use that to save whatever's up first. Or to trade his knight for it if the knight is what's ordered first. The mistake for Farnum would be if he ordered the Patron of the Valiant first. That would not be good for him. And I don't know what he did, to be honest. All right, he did put the knight up first. So that means that the Patron of the Valiant gets to survive. Cancel that order. Anchor to the Aether, puts it back on the table. It is still alive, though. And it also means that Benfell takes 0 damage this turn.
Yeah, now, I mean, some good attacks here for Benfell on the swing back. Gets to get in with both.
And he's going to draw, of course, that Patron, so he gets to replay that if he wants.
Some interesting cards that we're seeing played here. Sigil of Valor, not a card we're used to seeing in this limited format, but when you're playing Team Sealed, you can really build a deck that.
Dude, I see that card all the time.
Pretty well.
You don't see that in draft?
I mean, I don't love it.
I see it a lot. I don't love it either. I see it all the time, though. People love it.
Oh.
The people.
It's the people's card?
They.
They. Not us.
It is kind of the people's card, too, like cheering on their champion.
It is.
Yeah. All right, it looks like Benfell has decided to tap down the Aspiring Aeronaut, which does open up the trade here with the Void Mage on the Knight. Now, if he had tapped down the Void Mage, then that trade wouldn't be possible outside of a double block. And there's Patron of the Valiant and a Topin Freeblade, so Benfell really put the afterburners on here. He's got Farnum down to 2. This is game 1. You can see on our bottom graphic, Ray lost game 2 to Saito. So they're headed to a game 3. And Benfell's looking to close the door on Ian here in game 1. He looks like he's not done yet, though.
He's lining up a bunch of lands. So, what do you think Ian can... Oh, well, that's pretty good for Ian to have that one.
Okay. Equip. Can attack it to one of his flyers and attack for 3.
Yeah, I mean, guess he's attacking.
And so we'll turn back over to Benfell.
And this great attack for Benfell, just being able to tap down that Void Mage, forcing your opponent to chump the Free Blade if he doesn't want to interact with it. Now, I'm trying to figure out what Ian can do here. And I mean, he can just really have any smattering of just chain draws. Like anything that produces Thopters is really good right now. Grasp of the Hieromancer is actually doing a lot of work.
It really is.
In this game.
The interesting thing is that since he put it on a Llanowar Empath, even though we've seen 2 Separatist Void Mage cast, Ian's just opted to do it on the more expensive, better blocker and not let Chris get some value out of that Empath, even though it would knock the grasp off of it. Here's Suppression Bonds on the Void Mage. And that is going to prompt him to use his Alchemist Vial to make sure that the Empath cannot attack this turn. It's also going to prompt a Chump Block. And it feels like Farnum is just about dead here. And, oh, he did the fake pick up my permanents. He got me. He had me in the air.
He got me too.
Had me in the air there.
I thought it was real.
Well, he is not done yet, though. We're going to stick on this one until the bitter end here with Ian Farnum versus Chris Benfell. There's a Tower Geist to try to find something.
Tower Geist is so good. I love that card. Trades with tons of other 4-drops. Evasive threat. Replaces itself. finds you specific cards. It's just the coolest.
You know, it looks like chat kind of agrees with us about Sigil. The most common response, and it's one of the reasons why I really don't like it too, is it doesn't play defense. It does nothing. Have you ever been behind in a game of Magic?
Yeah.
Me too.
All the time.
Happens
Most
all the
of the time.
Yeah.
I'm behind. Yeah.
And that's not where you want your Sigil. If you're ahead, it does a nice job of kind of slamming the door, and if you got the right kind of deck, it can do some things. It can. It's not a dead card. Not a huge fan of it. I like it in Ian's deck, though. It looks pretty good here. He's already played a couple of Thopter Makers. I'm assuming he has more in there, too.
Yeah, it looked like he had plenty of Aspiring Aeronauts, and I'm not sure what else he has, but...
All right, here's the Yavis Force Mage to pump up the Free Blade. They're all lethal, though. And we're going to need to see some blocks here. Chump, chump. Yeah, that's tough because it turned a trade into a chump as well. Okay, Ian Farnum. No, he's still pump faking. He still gets me every time.
Yeah, he's not quite sure.
Not done yet.
Am I going to scoop? No, not now.
Interesting also, you know, back to the Sigil of Valor discussion. I mean, look, that could be a creature. It could be a removal spell. It could be a pump spell, right?
And that's one of the major issues with cards like that in general is like with equipment, you need guys.
You need creatures.
And, you know, you don't even want to play decent equipment unless you have a certain creature threshold in your limited deck.
This time, I think he's not faking, and that's going to do it for game one. So Chris Benfell is going to pick up game one and make this pretty lopsided. It's one match already for Williams in the middle with his arms crossed. He's like, yeah, we've been done for a while, baby. No worries over here. Now Benefell's got to pick up a game, or Saito has to pick up game three, which is what we're going to jump in on here. And Poonsalon, he has the only win for his team so far, and it's just a game win so far. So Poonsalon's going to have to find a way to figure out his way out of this, and looks kind of even so far. Whoa, just as I say that, Jiraga Invocation for Ray Poonsalon.
Oof.
Now this is a card that also doesn't do anything on defense, but wow, what it does on offense is so robust. It's going to force trades. It's going to get Liliana off the table here. Most likely.
It could absolutely be worse, though, for Saito. I mean,
totally.
You know, when you have a Fetidim in play, when, you know, you've got a little bit of a board, your opponent casts Jiraga Invocation, it's not the end of the world the way it is most of the time.
He's also got 5 mana available, and I'm assuming he's got an Unholy Hunger, maybe even a counter spell. He's got something here.
Maybe he has like Disperse plus another spell.
There you go. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you know, this can often be, yeah, he can't do that. Each of those creatures has to be blocked, so one card is going to have to go on one card in every scenario here because Ray has more creatures than Tamahara does. So, block, block, block. You are allowed to double block, but you have to have an excess of creatures in order to do it. Now, the awkward part, of course, here for Saito. Oh, is Ray not attacking with the Patron of the Valiant? He doesn't want to offer the trade with the Imp. Fair enough. The awkward part for Saito is that if he does have Unholy Hunger in his hand like he did in game one, he doesn't get to activate the Imp. So this is where, there we go, Disperse. You mentioned it a minute ago, Jake, and he does have it. So it looks like activate Imp and maybe Disperse something is going to be the line he's going to take here. Bounce the Timberpack Wolf. Kill that thing. Make a 2/2 zombie. Get Liliana transformed. We'll get the big dice on there. Yes, the Elvish Visionary does survive.
Now, what do you think the correct line is here with the Liliana?
Well, what are his options? +2, everybody discards a card. I need to know what's in his hand for that, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess we really just need to have more information.
He can get back the Fetidim.
Free play dependent.
Right?
Yeah.
-2, get back the Imp. That's not bad. Remember, he's playing green. Fetid Imp stops about everything in green-white. Now, how many cards does Ray have in his hand? He's got 2. We know one of them is a Timber Pack Wolf. There's Liliana as a Planeswalker, which she is on the battlefield right now. So as you can see, he can -2 Liliana to bring back the Imp, and he's going to do that.
I like that play.
I like that play a lot. This also lets him have the Imp available, and then I think he's got Unholy Hunger in his hand. I've kind of been assuming it this whole time. I thought I maybe saw it.
I thought I saw it also.
Okay, so yeah, there it is right there on top. So he's got that at the ready as well. And he can kind of just sit back here. You know, no big pressure. If Ray goes for some big play, he can punish him for it. And Ray's going to actually offer the trade with the Imp here. Maybe has Enshrouding Mist. No, he's just going for it.
Yeah. You don't want to trade your patron.
He just had to take his medicine there, I guess. Oh, geez. Archangel of Tides for Ray Punsalon. And the Timber Pack Wolf as well. But unfortunately for Ray, boom. Unholy Hunger is going to take down the Archangel and put Tamaharu Saito in a great position here.
It looks like Saito has more copies of Unholy Hunger. Claustrophobia. And Guardian Automaton. So
Guardian Automaton as well. Man, if he has spells, he's good to go. That's Thragtusk. That's very select portions of a Thragtusk. You get the 3/3, you get some life. It's a stretch.
Yeah.
I like your optimism though. Play Thragtusk, go. Well, by the way, the chat points out the huge flavor win by Tamaharu Saito there. Unholy Hunger, targeting Archangel of Tides. It's a big game.
That is kind of a big game.
Saito playing the game the way it was meant to be played here.
Yeah, Flavor Judge would approve of that.
Yeah.
Jeez, Liliana. So rude.
She is doing work here. She's going to get back that Imp, I bet. Yeah, there he jumps back onto the table. They call him a Typhoid Bat. None of that's correct, but it's funny. And this is the 3rd time that Imp has hit the battlefield here. And it looks like the Elvish Visionary is going to attack Liliana, which is going to prompt a probable block by Saito. Yeah, he's going to block. It was a 3/3. And Saito has really just whittled away at Punsalon's board here and put himself in a very good position to win the game and the match for his team. Remember, both of these teams are sitting at 3-0. Punsalon, Dobbin, and Farnum have had a lot of success in different variations of the team. It's not always been these 3 exact players, but pretty close.
I mean, each of them has had team Grand Prix success.
Yeah, they've top 8'd one of these. Now, that doesn't have the same weight as it does normally, because if you've watched these before, you'll know we actually count the top 4 here at the Team Limited as sort of the, you know, the cut. That's where the cut happens and people draft. But still, it's like getting the top 16, you know, to top 8. It's very good.
So at this point, Totem Guide of Heart of Beast.
All right, now what is he going to get?
I think suppression bonds.
I think he'd rather, like, if he has the opportunity, he'd rather have, what's it called, the Knightly Valor. You know,
does he have that card?
I don't know. We're going to find out. You'll often see those 2 cards in there with the Heart Beast, though, because it gives you an option for if you need to deal with a threat, and it gives you an option for making a big threat yourself, and also those 2 cards are just excellent on their own. So you will often combine those in the deck with the Heart Beast if you have them. Yeah, there it is, Knightly Valor. I think he actually has both. I think he had the option there. The Valor's great here, except for the fact that Saito still has Unholy Hunger in his hand. But, you know, Ray doesn't know that.
Now, this is a great limited lesson here.
Okay.
You know, okay.
What's the lesson?
The lesson here is, all right, your opponent has a known aura known enchant creature in their hand. You have instant speed removal spell. You are not losing a race. What do? You just sit there and you wait.
I wait.
You wait.
I just stare at them and say, I dare you.
When they go for it, you are going to blow them out so hard.
Oh, no. Don't do it, Ray. Okay, Ray found another threat here. He found a Somberwald Alpha. Ray very keen to the fact that Saito could easily have an instant speed removal spell in his hand with all that mana available.
Well, actually, I think Ray actually had to discard the Knightly Valor to Liliana.
Oh, did he really? He was down to no other cards in hand? Oh, brutal.
Like. Yeah.
All right. That's really raw.
That is extremely raw.
Oh, no. This is just a disaster for Ray Poonslan. He got his Somberwald Alpha killed before blocks, and now blocks are happening, and he gets to just eat the 2/5.
Yeah, no punishment whatsoever.
None.
Oh, a 2/5? I have a 3/3 and a 2/4 in play, and you have no cards in your hand. I'll block.
Yeah, this is brutal.
I love Ray.
Yeah, this is not.
I don't want to see him die like this.
Ray's a really nice guy, but Saito not taking it easy here. He is going to run him over from this point. And this is where the control deck turns the corner, has full control of the board. Jeez. Priest of the Bloodright, too? Okay.
I mean,
this has been a nasty game. Really fun, though. Like, Ray's played his bombs. It's just Saito's maneuvered around them. Got him to discard one. He killed the Archangel of Tithes. Remember, that hit the board this game. Didn't matter. Now look at the board.
That Liliana has just been on the table for way too long. That's the major issue here. I mean, as long as he is taking that thing up and then aggressively taking it back down to get more cards, it's going to be nearly impossible to beat that in a game unlimited.
This is lethal. Yeah, and that's going to do it. Tamaharu Saito and company win their match. Thanks to Dave Williams winning quickly and Saito winning a little slower. He's got the control deck out of the match, but he gets it done. And they're going to hand him their edge. Yeah, Ian Farnum, Jack Dobbin, and Ray Poonslan are going to have to pick up their first loss of the day, but it's a long day. This is only round 4. A lot of Magic to be played, so we can keep an eye on them and see if they hang around and put up a finish here. And that's going to do it for round 4 here from Detroit.